what is a water watcher?
Basically just making sure somebody is always watching the water when kids or family members are swimming or near water.
Dana Ensley with the Whitaker YMCA says the Y has issued a challenge this month where adults can go online to pledge to become a water watcher.
At any time you are around any type of water, whether that be a pool, a pond or lake, a stream, is always having somebody to watch the water.
Ensley has some tips to keep you safe around water. Children should ask permission to go in or near water. Never swim alone without a water watcher, and don't engage in long breath holding activities. Britt Merritt is the GM at Aqua Tots. She's emphasizing that water safety is of the highest importance. Their clients are taught foundational tools that help them survive in the water, like doing a back float or an elementary backstroke.
54% of Americans, they don't know how to actually save themselves if they fall into the water. So we want to help, one, prevent drownings, but also help people who are well into adulthood be able to save themselves.
Sarah Anderson Hoke is watching her 3-year-old daughter Charlotte and 1-year-old son Judah get acclimated to the water at an early age, so they are not scared.
Not afraid, but cautious as well. Understand the risks and the fun that it brings.
The floaties are with them for now, but next year the plan is for little Charlotte to go without them.
And see how we can learn how to, go under the water and swim a little bit and learn how to get to the edge. That's what I would like them to know.
It's safety first in the water at an early age. In Lexington, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.